Maya Torres woke to cold sheets and silence. The California king bed felt like an ocean when you slept alone, and these days, she always slept alone. The clock read 6:52 a.m., which meant Damien had left at least 3 hours ago. She could tell by how his pillow looked barely touched, as if a ghost had slept there. Sitting up slowly, Maya wrapped herself in the silk robe draped over her bedpost. The penthouse stretched before her, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking San Francisco, minimalist furniture that cost more than most people's annual salaries. 35 floors above the city, the view was breathtaking. The loneliness was suffocating. In the kitchen, she made coffee in the expensive Italian machine Damien had bought last year. He probably thought it was thoughtful. Maya would have preferred him home for breakfast instead. She scrolled through her phone and found his text from 5:03 a.m., critical server issue. We'll be late tonight. Don't wait up. No heart emoji. No, I love you. Just facts delivered like a status update. Maya had met Damien Reed 6 years ago at a tech conference where she was coordinating events. He was the keynote speaker, the brilliant young CEO everyone wanted to meet. When he walked straight past admirers to talk to her about the lighting choices she'd made, Maya thought she was dreaming. Their first date lasted 14 hours. They talked about everything: childhood dreams, favorite films, whether AI would save or doom humanity. Damien made her laugh until her stomach ached. He listened to her stories about growing up in Texas like they were the most fascinating things he'd ever heard. The courtship was magical. Damien sent flowers to her office weekly. He surprised her with weekend trips to Napa Valley. He introduced her to his business partners and actually valued her opinions. 8 months in, he proposed on the Golden Gate Bridge at sunset. Maya said yes before he finished asking. The wedding was perfect. The first year was beautiful. Damien still made time for date nights. They cooked together on Sundays. He asked about her day and genuinely listened. Then Next-Gen Technologies landed its first major government contract. Suddenly date nights were rescheduled. Sunday dinners became takeout eaten separately. Conversations grew shorter, more distracted. Damien was building an empire, and Maya told herself she needed to be supportive. Success required sacrifices. Year 2 brought more contracts, more employees, more responsibility. Damien left earlier and came home later, when he came home at all. Maya tried to be understanding. She decorated their new penthouse alone. She attended company events and smiled for photos while Damien networked. By year 3, Maya barely recognized her marriage. They existed in the same space but lived separate lives. Damien slept beside her but never touched her. They ate meals in silence. Every attempt Maya made to connect was met with distraction or exhaustion. She started wondering if he even noticed she was there. Now, in year 6, Maya knew the answer. He didn't notice. She was furniture, part of the penthouse's elegant design, functional but unremarkable. Last Thursday, Maya had dressed up and gone to his office unannounced, hoping to surprise him for lunch. His assistant, a efficient woman named Rebecca, had looked embarrassed. Mrs. Reed, Mr. Reed is in meetings until 8 tonight. He has a working dinner after. Perhaps you could schedule something for next month? Maya had stood there in her new dress, holding a picnic basket like an idiot, while Damien's assistant penciled her into his calendar like any other appointment. That night, lying awake while Damien snored softly, something inside Maya finally broke. Not with drama or tears, but with quiet, devastating clarity. This was her life. This would be her future, unless she changed it. Monday morning, Maya called a divorce attorney. Tuesday afternoon, she filled out paperwork at the kitchen table while Damien was at yet another meeting. Wednesday evening, she read through the documents 3 times, hands shaking. Thursday, she put them in a manila envelope and waited. Damien came home at 9 o'clock on Thursday night, earlier than usual, but still late enough that dinner had gone cold. Maya heard him in his home office on a conference call. She stood outside the door for 15 minutes, envelope in hand, gathering courage. When she finally knocked, Damien barely looked up. "Come in." Maya entered the pristine office, all dark wood and leather. Damien sat behind his massive desk, laptop open, phone on speaker. He gestured for her to wait while he finished discussing quarterly projections. 10 minutes passed. Maya's heartbeat thundered in her ears. When Damien finally ended the call, he glanced at her with mild curiosity. "What's up? Everything okay?" Maya walked forward and placed the envelope on his desk, right on top of his spreadsheets. "I want a divorce." The words hung in the air like smoke. Damien stared at the envelope, then at her, his expression cycling through confusion, disbelief, and dawning horror. He opened it with trembling fingers and pulled out the papers. Maya watched him read, saw the exact moment comprehension hit. His face went white. "Maya, what is this? What are you doing?" "I'm leaving." Her voice was steadier than she felt. "I can't do this anymore." "Can't do what?" "We have everything." "I want a husband," Maya interrupted, her voice sharp. "I want someone who sees me, who talks to me, who remembers I exist." "That's not you, Damien. That hasn't been you for years. That's not fair. I work hard to give you this life. I never asked for this life." The words came out louder than intended. "I asked for you. Just you. And somewhere along the way, you stopped being here." Damien stood so fast his chair rolled backward. "When did you become so unhappy?" The question nearly made her laugh. "When did I become unhappy? Try asking when I stopped being happy." 3 years ago, Damien. Maybe 4. I've been drowning right in front of you, and you never even noticed. You never said anything. "I said everything," Maya's voice cracked. "I tried date nights, you cancelled them. I tried surprising you at work, your assistant blocked me. I tried talking, you fell asleep. I tried everything except disappearing completely. And somehow, I did that anyway." Damien looked at the papers again, then at her, his eyes red. "Please don't do this. Give me a chance to fix it." "How many chances, Damien?" Maya felt tears threatening. "How many times do I beg for scraps of your attention before I realize I deserve more? I'll change. I promise. Just tell me what you need. I need you to have wanted to change before I filed for divorce." Maya's composure was cracking. "I need you to have cared enough to notice I was miserable. I need the man I married, not the workaholic stranger who sleeps in our bed. Maya, please." She shook her head. "I'll stay in the guest room tonight. Monday, I'm moving to my sister's place in Oakland. Sign the papers or don't. Either way, I'm done." Maya turned and walked out, leaving Damien standing behind his desk, divorce papers in hand, his carefully constructed world collapsing around him. In the guest bedroom, she finally let herself cry. Not from sadness, but from relief. She'd said it. She'd done it. For the first time in years, Maya had chosen herself. In his office, Damien Reed stared at his wife's signature on the divorce decree and realized he'd lost something irreplaceable while chasing things that didn't matter. His phone buzzed with another work email. For the first time in 6 years, he didn't check it. Damien didn't sleep. He sat in his office until dawn, staring at the divorce papers, reading them over and over like they might say something different. They didn't. His wife wanted out, and he'd been too blind to see it coming. At 5 a.m., he did something he hadn't done in 4 years. He called his assistant Rebecca and told her to cancel everything. Every meeting, every call, every appointment. "Everything?" Rebecca sputtered. "But the investor presentation, cancel it all," Damien repeated. Family emergency. When Maya emerged from the guest room at 8 o'clock, exhausted and red-eyed, she found Damien in the kitchen attempting to make pancakes. Flour dusted the counter, eggshells floated in the batter, and smoke rose from the pan. He looked up when she entered, hope and desperation written across his face. "I made breakfast." "You've never made breakfast." Maya stared at the disaster. "I know. I'm sorry. I should have." He set down a plate of lumpy, burnt pancakes like they were a peace offering. "Maya, please give me one day. Just one day before you leave. Let me show you I can change." She wanted to say no, to protect herself from more disappointment. But something in his face stopped her. He looked terrified, vulnerable in a way she hadn't seen since their wedding day. "One day," she said quietly. "That's all." Over the following 2 weeks, Damien actually showed up. He came home at 6 o'clock every evening. He cooked dinner with her, clumsy but trying. He put his phone in a drawer during meals. They talked for hours like they used to, and Maya felt herself softening, but doubt lingered. Was this real change or panic? Would it last? Then one evening, after they'd spent the day at the coast reconnecting, Damien grew serious. They sat on the penthouse terrace, city lights glittering below. "There's something I need to tell you," he said, his voice shaking. "About why I've kept you at such distance. Why I've built these walls." Maya's heart raced. "What is it?" 3 months after the near divorce, Damien's phone rang during dinner, the anniversary dinner he'd meticulously planned. He glanced at the screen and declined the call. It rang again. And again. Finally, he answered. "This better be important, Rebecca." Maya watched his expression change, excitement, calculation, conflict. When he hung up, she knew what was coming. That was about the Helix deal. "The tech consortium we've been courting for 2 years. They want to meet tomorrow in Tokyo. If we land this contract, it changes everything for NextGen. We're talking billions." Maya's stomach dropped. "Tomorrow is our actual anniversary. The one you missed 6 years ago." Damien looked genuinely torn. "I know. I remember. I have the reservation, the gift, everything planned. But this deal is massive, Maya. It could secure our future." "We're already secure, Damien." Maya's voice was steady but final. "You have more money than we could spend in 10 lifetimes. The question is, what matters more, the deal or me? That's not fair. I'm not making you choose. I'm telling you what your choice means." She stood. "You can have the deal, or you can work on our marriage and be a present father to Arya. You can't have both. Not this time." Maya walked to the bedroom and started packing. She heard Damien on the phone, his voice rising and falling. After 20 minutes, he appeared in the doorway. "I told them no." Maya turned, shocked. "What?" "I told Rebecca to send David to Tokyo. He's the VP, he can handle it. I'm staying here with you and Arya." His voice shook. "I'm not missing our anniversary again. I'm not losing you for a contract." Before Maya could respond, Damien's phone buzzed with an urgent message. His face went pale. "It's from Victor Chen, my former business partner. He's attached photos." Damien showed her the screen. Photos of Arya, her purple skin clearly visible, playing in the secure wing. The message read, 20 million or these go public. You have 48 hours. My first partner, before I met you, her name was Lyra. She wasn't human, Maya. She was an extraterrestrial physicist studying Earth's technological development. He took a shaky breath. We fell in love. She died giving birth to our daughter 9 years ago. Maya felt the world tilt. You have a daughter? Yes. Arya. She's half human, half alien. Her skin has a purple tone from Lyra's genetics. His voice cracked. I've kept her hidden because if anyone discovered her existence, she'd be taken from me. Studied, treated like a specimen instead of a child. Where is she? Maya whispered. Here. In the secure wing of the penthouse. She's never been to school, never played with other children. Tears streamed down his face. I kept you at distance because I was terrified of telling you. Terrified you'd leave, terrified of the danger. But I was wrong. I lost you anyway by pushing you away. Maya stood, processing the impossible information. Show me. Damien led Maya through hidden corridors to a wing she'd never accessed. Behind reinforced doors was a beautiful space filled with advanced technology, books, and educational materials. A small girl sat reading, her skin a soft lavender that shimmered subtly. She had Damien's dark eyes and features that were subtly otherworldly, delicate bone structure, slightly larger eyes. Arya, this is Maya. She's someone very important to me. The girl studied Maya with unnerving intensity. Your cardiovascular rhythm increased when you saw me. Surprise, not fear. That's promising. Hi, Arya, Maya said, kneeling to her level despite her shock. Your dad says you love to learn. What are you studying? Quantum field theory. Father thinks I should read more fiction, but most human stories lack scientific rigor. Over the following weeks, Maya visited daily. She brought science puzzles, worked on equations with Arya, but also introduced her to storytelling, art, and play. The girl was starved for connection, and Maya's acceptance meant everything. She's never bonded with anyone like this, Damien said one evening, watching them build a model of the solar system together. You're giving her what I couldn't, normalcy and genuine care. Maya turned to him. I understand now why you built walls. But Damien, fear doesn't justify abandoning your marriage. You should have trusted me with this years ago. I know. I was wrong about everything. He pulled her close. I'm in therapy now. Real therapy. I'm learning to be present, to be vulnerable. I'm cutting my hours, delegating more. I want to be the husband you deserve and the father Arya needs. That night, after Arya was asleep, Damien and Maya made love for the first time in over a year, tender and searching, a physical reconnection to match their emotional one. I love you, Damien whispered. Both of you. I want to build a real family. I love you too, Maya replied. But actions, not promises. Show me this is real. The following months brought genuine change. Damien attended therapy weekly, came home at reasonable hours, and was present when he was there. Maya began bonding with Arya, becoming the mother figure the child had never known. But the real test came when opportunity knocked. The next 48 hours were chaos. Damien's lawyers moved swiftly. Victor Chen was arrested for extortion, corporate espionage, and attempted exploitation of a minor. The photos were seized before going public. But the damage to Damien's peace of mind was done. We can't stay here, he said. Victor isn't the only threat. Someone will always be looking. Maya took his hands. Then we build a life somewhere safe. All of us. Together. Damien made a decision that shocked his entire board. He sold NextGen Technologies for a staggering sum to a conglomerate that wanted him only as a part-time consultant. 20 hours per week, mostly remote. The company almost destroyed us, he told Maya. I choose you. I choose Arya. I choose presence over profit. 6 months later, Maya stood on the deck of their estate in the mountains of Colorado, watching Arya play in the meadow below. The property was paradise, secure but beautiful, with laboratories where Damien consulted remotely and space for Arya to finally live freely. Arya thrived here. She ran through wildflowers with her purple skin glowing in sunlight, studied with visiting scientists who'd signed ironclad NDAs, and slowly became the child she'd never been allowed to be. Maya had resumed her event planning career remotely, coordinating high-profile conferences from their home office. She and Damien had found balance, both pursuing meaningful work while prioritizing family. "She's happy," Damien said, joining Maya on the deck. "Really happy. So am I." "Me too," Maya replied, leaning into him. That evening, Maya pulled out a pregnancy test she'd taken that morning. 2 pink lines. She showed Damien, and he picked her up, spinning her around, both crying and laughing. "We're having a baby," he whispered, overwhelmed. "Are you ready?" Maya asked. "Really ready to be present this time?" "I've never been more ready for anything." Damien kissed her deeply. "I almost lost everything because I couldn't let go of success. I won't make that mistake again." As they told Arya the news, she calculated there was a 73% chance the baby would be fully human. Maya reflected on their journey. She'd felt forgotten, invisible in her own marriage. Filing for divorce had been the hardest thing she'd ever done. But it had also been the catalyst for real change. Damien had gone wild when faced with losing her, not with grand gestures or empty promises, but with genuine transformation. He'd revealed his deepest secret, restructured his entire life, and chosen family over fortune. Now, standing on this mountain with her husband, her stepdaughter, and a baby on the way, Maya understood, sometimes love requires breaking before it can heal. Sometimes being forgotten leads to being truly seen. Sometimes the threat of loss is what teaches us what really matters. "I'm sorry it took almost losing you," Damien murmured against her hair. "I'm sorry I waited so long to demand better," Maya replied. "We're here now," he said. "That's what matters." As Arya's laughter echoed across the meadow and the sun set over the mountains, Maya finally felt at home. Not in the penthouse that had been her prison, but here, in this life they'd built from the ruins of what came before. She'd filed for divorce to save herself. Instead, she'd saved them all. Sometimes the end of one story is just the beginning of a better one. Sometimes being forgotten is the first step to being found. And sometimes, the greatest love stories are the ones that almost ended, but didn't. Damien had gone wild when she tried to leave. But his wildness wasn't possessive or controlling, it was the awakening of a man who'd finally understood what he was about to lose. And in understanding, he'd found his way home. Retry.